Oh, I'm recording. Sorry. Wasn't sure what that was doing. I just hung up from a phone call. That was spam. Let me get set up. Sorry. All right, so now we're at Revelation 18, and we've got 7 verses. Hang on just a quick second. Very sorry. I'm very ready now, finally. After these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils. It always had been, of course. But again, with my theory, the mark of the beast, it clearly states in Daniel 2:43, iron mixing with clay, mixing with the seed of man. The iron represents the machine, the computer, the ghost in the machine. And through the technology, and there's first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and 5G, fifth generation. Trump signed a bill called 5G and beyond. It is a completely different millimeter wave, 60 gigahertz technology. And it's a game changer. And this is how the demonic entities will be uploaded. There's a Netflix series called Upload. And you think of the movie Iron Man, where he was able to morph his body through artificial intelligence. That's what artificial intelligence is. It's the ghost in the machine. And they do not hesitate to tell you that. I've got a series on my other YouTube channel, AI is the ghost in the machine, mark of the beast. And they tell you that artificial intelligence through the D-Wave quantum computer is connecting with parallel universes. That means paranormal activity. And then the same guy, this is them talking. And the same guy working for a different company now called Kindred. Think about kindred spirits when you contact spirits. He says he refers to them as aliens and then demons. That's all aliens have ever been, folks. You live under the firmament. There is no outer space. It's always been the fallen ones. There's a TV show called Ancient Aliens. That was nothing more than when the fallen ones were on the earth. And Jesus said, so like it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be when the Son of Man returns. So when it says is become the habitation of devils, that's because every single human body is now an avatar for the fallen angels. Humans get nothing but death, and then they're raised and judged, and they receive a second death. There is no eternal torment for humans, but those that take the mark, there is. And for the beast, the false prophet, and Satan, there is. That's because the beast and the false prophet have also, through the same technology, they have now been inhabited by the fallen ones. That's the only 2 times it ever says that speaks of eternal torment. It's the fallen angels that receive the eternal torment. The rest, like Jesus said, don't fear them that can kill the body, but not the soul, but fear him that can destroy both body and soul in the grave or in hell, because hell is what? Hell is the grave. The lake of fire is where the flames are, folks. Been lied to your whole life. So is become the habitation of devils is because that's what everything is now. Every human is now inhabited with the fallen ones. It says in Daniel 2:43. They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. That is not a vaccine that changes your DNA. Folks, the mark of the beast only comes after the Antichrist has seemingly returned from the dead. And you must worship the image of the beast. It's not going to come disguised as something to cure you through a pandemic. You're not a sheep and then they go, oh, take this. This will save you from COVID so you can buy groceries. And then you take it and they go, ah, now you've lost your salvation. We tricked you. Come on. That is the most unbiblical, but yet I hear it from people all the time. No, I'm not taking that thing that's going to change my DNA. You can't have your DNA changed until you take the mark. And the mark is when? After the Antichrist has returned from receiving a deadly wound in his right eye and his arm is no longer any good. He has a bad arm and a knocked out eye. And he returns from the dead, seemingly so, and declares himself to be God, standing in the holy place, standing in the third temple, along with the false prophet that makes fire flash down from heaven to the earth and the sight of men, with all lying signs and wonders. And God is going to send the entire world a strong delusion that they will believe a lie, a delusion so great that if it were possible, even God's very elected sheep would be fooled, but they won't because he gives them the discernment. And that's it. So, in the hold of every foul spirit, in the cage of every unclean, hateful bird. For all the nations have drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication. The kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not of her plagues, for her sins have reached unto heaven. And God have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled to her double. Who is she? She is Lucifer. She is the queen of heaven. She is the queen of the universe. That's what they worshiped in the Old Testament. They worship the queen of heaven. They worship the queen of the universe. They worship the goddesses. Diana, Diana, great Diana, Diana of Ephesus. Paul and them almost got killed by telling everybody about, and the people that were making these statues of Diana wanted to kill Paul and the rest of them because it was going to put them out of business because they made their money making statues. Diana of Ephesus, also known as Artemis. Do y'all remember Artemis Gordon from the Wild Wild West? Or TV show with Screech.
Dustin Diamond stars in 9 TV shows. Here are the first 3. Saved by the Bell, Saved by the Bell, The New Class, and Saved by
Screech
the Bell,
Owl
The
in the
College
Bible.
Years.
Screech Owl in the Bible. All their TV shows, Screech Owl, are named after that's what Hollywood is. There was another one. What was her name in Cheers? cast of Cheers. Lilith. Lilith, the spirit. Spirit of Lilith. Lady flying in darkness. Lilith, the spirit in the tree. Jewish, Babylonian, Talmud. Lilith in the occult world. Lilith, the legend of the first woman. They say that Adam, that Lilith wanted to be on top. It's folklore. It's not biblical, but that's their world. And of course, in the TV show Cheers, they named her Lilith. That's what all of this is about. The Lilith Tour. The Lilith Fair, they call it, in the music world. Sarah McLachlan and all of them. That's what their world is, folks. That's what their world is. They're all witches. You can't be in Hollywood or politics. Yeah, either side of politics. Or high up in the media without being a witch. Hollywood, music industry, movie industry. They run it all. There's nothing they don't run. And that's why your world is what it is. How much she, Lucifer, is the female transgendered version of Satan. That's all it is. How much she hath glorified herself. By the way, Venus is Lucifer. It's all the same. Venus is Lucifer is Inanna. They're all the same. Venus is the morning star. Lucifer, Wikipedia. Jamie from Louisiana was like, I think it's Lucifer, son of the morning, but Jesus is the bright morning star, if I'm saying that right. You just have to check Revelation 22 and Isaiah 14 to make sure I'm correct on that. But Inanna, Isis, Ishtar, Venus, all the same. It's all about the mother goddess. Like I showed you the other day, that's why they put a female angel on the tree. There are no female angels, but it's Lucifer, the fallen one, transgendered as a female. And that's why the Baphomet has woman's breast, even though it's a man, female breast. There's a transgendering that took, and that's why you had the movement in this world. So you understand the world that you're living in. And they run everything around you. And they own your churches today that teach free will and that hell is eternal torment. And they have you celebrating the Christ Mass. They're all Catholic. They took it all over in the late 1800s. Free will was not taught in this country. In the 1600s, 1700s, and the first part of the 1800s, neither was Christmas celebrated in this country. It was against the law in certain areas. That's the pagan world that you now live in. Why do you think they light up the Christmas tree in Rockefeller Center? You really think that it's about Jesus or the tree goddess, the grove worship of the Old Testament? Folks, nothing new under the sun. It's the same paganism. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit as a queen, I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Let's go to Luke. And went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn, and took care of him. And on the morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence and gave them to the host, and said unto him, Take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee. Which now of these 3 thinkest thou was neighbor unto him that fell among the thieves? And he said, He that showed mercy on him. Then Jesus said unto him, Go and do likewise. Now it came to pass as they went, and they entered into a certain village, and a certain woman named Martha received him into her house. She had a sister called Mary, which also sat at Jesus' feet and heard his word. But Martha was cumbered about much serving, and came to him and said, Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Bid her therefore that she help me. But Jesus answered and said unto her, Martha, Martha, thou art careful and troubled about many things, but one thing is needful, and Mary hath chosen that good part, which shall not be taken away from her, because she was taking care of Jesus, anointing him, I think, with oil and so on and so forth. And we'll get into that tomorrow. And if you want to know what the first part of all that was about, just go to yesterday's Bible study. It's all, I just do one day at a time. I read one column at a time. Okay. So it's yesterday's study. It's 12 minutes. All right. Love y'all very much.